have... Season 12! Have you seen Mona Lisa?
Bob Hoskins?
Bob Hoskins.
No, I haven't.
It's amazing. It's like if you don't know how good of an actor Bob Hoskins is, you don't if you haven't seen Mona Lisa or Long Good Friday. In the midst of this movie, while Bob Hoskins is going around the various strip clubs and bordellos of mid-1980s London, they play Into Deep. Of course, Phil Collins was dropping songs in movies all the time back then, Against All Odds, which I think is his best work.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful song.
It's heartbreaking. And so I'm watching this movie, and it's a gritty drama. And then it's like, you know I love you, but God damn it works. I don't know why it works. As this guy who's just basically walking around just waiting to get a fist in the face. This gentle, adult contemporary song works perfectly in it.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I'm just in too deep for Phil Collins, which I'm not. I am for Rod Stewart, though. That's an idea. Rod Stewart. Where's your phone,
Where's
Matt?
my phone? I've got a bunch of movies that I've never seen before. You don't know what they are. Every episode, I'm going to spring one on you. It might be good. It might be bad. We'll watch it and talk about it. Welcome to the basement. Craig, I have a question for you.
Yes?
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
2.
Matt, I've been avoiding this for so long.
Me too!
I was camping and I knew this movie came out and I thought, I'm not excited to see that. I'm so happy I'm away from civilization on the Oregon coast.
I'm sorry, but tonight the ghosts are coming home to roost.
All right.
Welcome to season 12 of our show, by the way. This is our kickoff episode. We're so glad that you've returned to have some fun with us and watch a movie that Craig is not excited about at all.
No.
Released in 1989, Ghostbusters 2 was directed by Ivan Reitman and stars Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, and Basement alums Annie Potts, Ernie Hudson, Bill Murray, and the voice of Max von Sydow.
Bill Murray's in this? Oh, it might be good.
Now, I'm going to put you in the hot seat. You'll recall we did this when we watched Back to the Future 2. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the old clock and give you that amount of time to summarize Ghostbusters.
Got it.
And go.
3 paranormal scientists in New York City get fired from their jobs at a university, but this just happens to be when there's a big uptick in ghost activity in the city, so they go around and they work as ghost exterminators. One of their clients is a woman played by Sigourney Weaver, who one of them has a crush on. Her and her neighbor get possessed by demons, and their building basically is an antenna to summon all of the ghosts and an evil demon to New York City. The Ghostbusters go stop the demon, seal the portal, save the girl and the nerdy accountant next door, and the EPA is crapped upon a lot.
That was good. You did that in 45 seconds. This is probably the most movie-appropriate gift I have ever given you on this show.
Ghostbusters 2 trading cards. It's a smash movie. Or they want us to smash the movie. I think one of those might happen tonight. Shall we open these up?
It's your gift. You can do it with what you want. If you want to destroy the $2.99 resale value, then you can go ahead and do that. But don't eat the gum.
This is gum from the 80s. If you're in 1989 and you found gum this old, it would be from 1955.
Well, strap on your proton pack and start up the ignition on the Ecto-1 as you drive on over to the old leather couch where a haunting is happening as we watch Ghostbusters 2.
No, that's a good start. I have to say, I like it so far. Crack comes to New York. Up through the sidewalk cracks comes pink goo, and a baby carriage rolls over it.
Dana Barrett is taking a stroll through the streets of New York City with her baby Oscar.
The baby carriage starts rolling away.
Hey, stop that carriage! Stop,
Did she say stop that cabbage?
stop that carriage!
Stop that carriage, words that haven't been said on the street since 1922!
Almost gets away from her. Something weird is going on.
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call?
The police!
Meanwhile, across town, the Ghostbusters have a mission to perform at a child's birthday party. They were sued by the city after the whole Stay Puft incident, and now they're just trying to do what they can to make ends meet.
Man, face it, Ghostbusters doesn't exist.
Ce n'est pas un Ghostbuster.
Egon Spengler
Is at the lab doing his research.
Dana shows up to talk to him about what happened with Oscar.
What are you working on, Egon?
We're running an improv workshop. He says he'll stop by with Ray to check out her place.
They talk a little bit about Peter.
They were together for a while, they broke up, she married someone else, and then that guy split town. So now she's got this baby, and no baby daddy.
Peter is hosting this trashy talk show about psychics.
Milt, your new book is called The End of the World.
One of them thinks at the end of the world, it's gonna be this New Year's Eve. Oh, you poor sap.
That's all the time we've got for this week on World of the Psychic.
That was my 3-minute long talk show.
Mr. Mayor, Lenny.
I'm Jack Hardemeyer. I'm the mayor's assistant.
And I look like a humanoid frog.
I'm a voter. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
Aren't you supposed to be taking care of our fly problem with your long, sticky tongue? She works at the art museum restoring works of art. And this guy, Janusz, is her boss, I guess? Co-worker? I don't know. They work together, and he has a funny voice.
You can assist me in the more important restoration.
One of the things he's working on is restoring this portrait.
Vigo the Carpathian. He's the scourge of Carpathia.
Paintings aren't supposed to move. If you've never seen a painting before, they're all still lifes.
Ray runs an occult bookstore.
Ray, let's close this place up so you can buy me a calzone.
Well, I really can't do that right now, Pete. I'm working on something.
It's called the Super Bassomatic 76. I think it'll be a big seller. And he gets it out of them that they're doing something for Dana. They all go and visit Dana. There is no Zool, only Dana. Oh, hi, Ray.
Well, I know I'm just asking for the big hurt, but I thought I'd give us one more chance.
Big Hurt? That would be William Hurt, not John Hurt. He's quite short.
They examine the baby.
Subject weighs approximately 18 pounds and is about 8 months old.
Subject smells of sour milk and might have a boom boom in his diaper. The baby seems fine.
I should have been your father. I mean, I could have been.
But I'm so good at pulling out.
Well, he's ugly. I mean, he's not Elephant Man ugly, but he's not.
That would be John Hurt.
Was his father ugly?
They find some paranormal readings at a certain point of the street.
Got 118 on the PKE.
2.5 GeVs on the Geiger meter.
Well, what does that mean?
It means gobbly plus gook.
So they dress up as city workers and they tear up the street. Vigo talks to Janusz. She says, now is the season of evil. When the new year starts, I will take over the world. But I need a child to inhabit the body of a little baby.
I know pretty lady with baby.
And he's got a little crush on Dana. So if he does this thing for Vigo, maybe he can get busy as well.
They lower Ray down into this old vault.
And he sees a giant river of slime running under Manhattan.
It's not supposed to be where pink slime is. It's supposed to be in your meat and deli counter.
But unfortunately, the cops come by and arrest them all. These guys are in trouble because there was a judicial restraining order saying that they can't ghost bust or do any sort of paranormal research after the lawsuit.
Before we begin this trial, I want to make one thing very clear.
I am not in any mood for any horseplay or hoo-ha today.
But I will take shenanigans.
At the trial, we see that Louis Tully has become a lawyer and he is representing them. But he is a funny little twerp, and so he's not doing a good job.
Shit happens, someone has to deal with it, and who are you going to call?
I know the answer to this. Shitbusters.
The judge is a very mean man, and he yells,
Stand up! Get up!
Stand up for your rights!
Find you guilty on all charges. I sent you to 18 months in the city correctional facility at Rikers Island.
Mr. Tully, I'm also sending you to prison because I don't like you. You're too much of a geek. But that slime is starting to react perhaps to the anger of the judge. And these two ghosts pop out of it.
Oh my God, the Scaleri brothers! I tried them for murder! Gave them the chair!
These guys are gonna kill me, Ghostbusters. Bust those ghosts.
We can't do it. There is a restraining order.
I'm in the order! Cage this man! Hurry! Leave on the case! Now do something!
They capture the ghosts. Now that order is rescinded and they got all this good publicity for what they did at the courthouse, the Ghostbusters are back!
Busting ghosts, not being afraid of ghosts. They're being called
Ghostbusters.
By who? You!
The fellows are doing some tests on this slime. They discovered that it reacts to emotions.
You worthless piece of slime!
If you're mean to the slime, then the slime bubbles and does crazy things. If you're nice to the slime, then the slime does nice things, like makes this toaster dance around.
Dana's back at home. Everything seems to be fine. She's about to give the baby a bath.
Slime, 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 slime. Yes!
There we go. And she freaks out and she makes a run to the Ghostbusters. You gotta put me up for the night because of this goo issue.
Hi.
Why don't you put that baby in a dresser drawer and we can get freaky? There's something weird about that painting.
I get the feeling that that painting is watching me.
So the Ghostbusters come down to examine the painting. They take a bunch of pictures. Something's not right. This painting is haunted. Peter and Dana go to dinner. Dana says, this isn't a romantic dinner. I don't want you to pull any moves on me. But you know Peter. You know he's going to do that. He's got game.
Why did you dump me?
I was protecting myself.
Before I'm wrecking myself.
Well, why don't you just give me a jingle in the year 2000?
In the year 2000.
Why don't I give you a jingle right now?
In the year this year. The guys go down into the sewer.
It's a ghost train. The train died? And its soul didn't go to train heaven?
Did you catch the number on the locomotive?
Sorry, I missed it.
And now me and Dana's baby have something in common. The slime river. They find it.
Winston falls into it.
And so the other two got to jump in after him. They climb up out of the manhole. They're all covered in slime. And Winston and Ray start fighting. And Egon realizes,
we gotta get rid of our clothes.
Oh, it's all right.
They all wear long underwear. Classic old prospector long underwear.
and once again they get arrested.
Well, how's Oscar? Is he all right?
Such a good baby. He was a little fussy at first, then we just gave him some French bread pizza. Passed right out.
I want a French bread pizza.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Stouffer's French bread pizza. They're so good. I haven't had one since I was a kid. They're talking to the mayor. There's all this slime below the thing because New Yorkers are so angry all the time. That's what's making the slime grow and the slime flow and do all of these bad things around town.
If we don't do something fast, this whole place is going to blow like a frog on a hot plate.
Yeah, right.
Of course, that guy is upset about the frog reference. Yeah. The mayor says, I don't buy it. New Yorkers, they can be mad at whatever they want. Get these bums out of here.
Now, before you go running off to the newspapers with this,
I just want to say, ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. And so the mayor's assistant, Mr. Frogface himself, sends them to the Parkview Mental Hospital.
To the loony bin.
Hi, Vigo, the scourge of Carpathia.
I want a French bread pizza right now. Oscar the baby is stolen from Dana's apartment by Janusz.
He shows up looking very... Here comes...
Where are you going?
I've got to get my baby.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I need my baby back, baby back, baby back. She knows where that baby's been taken. She goes there.
Oscar is off to the museum. He's going to have a night in the museum, but it's not going to be a fun Ben Stiller night.
Hello, Dana. I thought that you might come.
You stay away from us, Janusz.
Come on, no, you can do it better than that. Get your hands off her, you bitch.
He traps her. Now he's got Dana and the baby. And it's almost midnight, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. It's almost midnight, New Year's Eve. Out on the street, all hell breaks loose.
Slime is seeping up everywhere now. Ghosts are about...
He says the Titanic just arrived. Better late than never.
There you go, Mr. Marin, $150 right there.
The streets, and I am still shorthanded.
What? Nixon.
We've got no choice. Call the Ghostbusters.
Wait!
Jack, there's something strange in our neighborhood, so you know the song.
You what?
they were threatening to go to the press. I was protecting your interest.
Well, you can stop protecting my interest. You have exactly 3 minutes to clear out. You're fired!
But I just put a down payment on a new lily pad.
Somebody get me the Ghostbusters.
They are released from the mental hospital and they go to work.
The Ghostbusters try shooting their way into the museum and it doesn't work.
Ray says it's because New Yorkers are so upset all the time. We got to do something that's going to make them happy.
We need something that everyone in this town can get behind. We need
Big soft pretzels, or maybe falafels.
The symbol.
A license plate! The Statue of Liberty. They spray the slime all over the feet of the statue. They play the special song that makes the slime happy, and the Statue of Liberty comes to life. Marches its way to Manhattan. He made an extra $50. Right to that museum that's all covered in a slime shell.
4 minutes to go, and then party times.
It's excellent. Wayne's word, Vigo's word. It's all the same. It's excellent.
The boys go in through the skylight
with their repelling equipment, which we know they have, right?
Hose them.
They take care of Janusz.
What's the Statue of Liberty doing right now?
Statue of Liberty is currently being ticketed and towed. Vigo tries to possess the baby. He fails. Oh, they did not have protons in Carpathia. The boys send Vigo packing back to the afterworld, and they're heroes once again. And then there's a weird thing with the painting that I don't quite get. Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters 2.
Do 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 do.
Yeah. Ghostbusters 2. We finally saw it.
We did.
I didn't think it was all that bad. It wasn't great.
It would be a pretty okay comedy if it weren't for the fact that it had the cast of Ghostbusters and the word Ghostbusters in the title. They had some good ideas in it, like what happens after no one needs Ghostbusters anymore. What happens after the sparks of the romance that started in the first movie. When you're in a situation where it's a high-intensity meetup, you're probably going to break up later on when life gets boring.
I found the antics of Bill Murray did not age well. The thing about Bill Murray in the 80s and the 70s, he's always a goof, but he's also super cool. If you look at Ghostbusters, if you look at Meatballs, if you look at Stripes,
yeah,
he's always the coolest guy in the room, even when he's cutting up.
Yeah, he doesn't have to care about anything because he's so cool.
And in this one, he just seems like he's trying too hard.
The movie itself leans too heavily on Murray/Venkman. The fact that they defeat Vigo
with love
and sarcasm. His sarcasm followed by the city's love.
Yeah, that's always a lame plot solution, and it still happens. It happened in Wonder Woman.
Well, the entire third act was absurd, and the Statue of Liberty thing, that's why I didn't want to see it. I knew that the Statue of Liberty comes alive to save New York City.
I have to admit, it was neat seeing the Ghostbusters again. Because the Ghostbusters are nerd heroes. They're true nerd heroes. They each have their own particular kind of cool. But that's a very small part of them. Mostly they're dorks and nerds, and they scream, and they run away from ghosts, and they get slimed. They really make you feel like anybody can accomplish anything. So, Vigo.
Yes.
The actor who portrayed him, Wilhelm von Homburg, they pulled a David Prowse on him. They did a Vader thing.
Yeah?
He thought he did the voice of the character. And then they dubbed in Max von Sydow's voice. He didn't find out until he was sitting at the premiere.
Oh.
And he heard that someone else's voice was coming out of his mouth, and he got up and stormed out.
Well, maybe they were thinking, back before we were constantly recording ourselves, whenever you would hear your voice, back in the 80s, it'd say, is that what I sound like? Do I sound like Max von Sydow all the time? The Statue of Liberty is nothing in comparison to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. They were trying to have that moment again, but it just feels nothing. And for a movie so cynical, or I shouldn't say it's cynical, but, it's a cast of wise asses, and they have to, just be like, let's get sentimental.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what really doesn't work about it. It doesn't fit. Let's take a look at those trading cards.
Vigo's master plan. Good old Peter McNichol right there. Yeah. That's another reason I didn't want to see the movie. Peter McNichol.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a great job. He always does a great job. He's the Dragon Slayer, for Christ's sake. Here, it says, all squeaky clean. A line I don't remember from the movie. Sigourney Weaver is Dana. Ooh, ghostly brothers on a rampage. The Scalaris. The monstrous mink. She's on her own card. She can show this to her grandchildren, and they'll say, they made a sequel? When people kiss, have multiple lipstick things, I've never been kissed like, mwah, mwah. Mwah!
The light is green, the trap is clean, and we are done with Ghostbusters 2. But right now it is time to go investigate a suspicious situation known as Seen It.
Seen It.
The Obsidian Man. Seen It, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. I enjoyed the star-studded cast and the return of Benoit Blanc. But I felt the story dropped the ball during the last 30 minutes, and overall I feel it's a weaker film than its predecessor, Seen It.
Seen It.
I liked it more than I liked Knives Out. I was not a crazy fan of Knives Out, and Glass Onion definitely has its problems.
It has problems. I don't care. The movie just takes you by the nape of your neck and drags you into the movie. Those first 10 minutes is a movie saying, look at me. You know what I can't stand? People talking about tech.
Yeah.
Computer tech. It makes for boring copy when you're watching a movie or a TV show or reading a comic book.
It was weird. The character Birdie, there was a woman who was there with her assistant, possibly her lover. I couldn't tell. She was a completely superfluous character. Didn't need to be there at all. Served no purpose.
I know. I was like, oh, who is this woman and how's she going to play into it? Oh, she's just another outsider.
And every time she shows up, I was always like, oh, yeah, she's in the movie.
Anna Heffernan says, The Banshees of Inisherin was my favorite release of 2022. Seen it.
Seen it. This movie is the most Irish movie ever made, and I've seen The Field, and it is the funniest tragedy ever made. Tragic almost beyond comprehension.
Yes.
But they push the jokes throughout the entire thing.
It was so Irish that he didn't allow Irish music to be on the soundtrack. Outside of when they're in the pub playing the music.
Yeah.
He's like, no, bring me German songs, bring me whatever else. It'll be so Irish that people will just be smelling of shamrocks when they leave. It has mystical qualities and make it legend. An old Irish woman talking to someone. Here comes a curse.
She's the Banshee.
Yeah.
But there were other Banshees.
Were there?
Yes, there were.
Was it the donkey?
I saw other figures in the backgrounds of scenes that were out of focus. There's scene where the two fellows are in the pub, and they're sitting in front of a window, and there's a guy in a blue coat. He walks in front of the window. He stops, and he turns, and he looks in the window while they're doing it. Banshee.
If it's a man, it's a ban-he.
When Colin Farrell is seeing Siobhan off, when he's at the top of the cliff and he's waving, there's someone in the background out of focus. Now, you think maybe it's the other guy. But yeah. I think it's a Banshee. It's a movie about depression, basically. It's about how depression affects your life and the lives around you and how destructive it is. And it's also an exercise in sustained dread.
Yeah.
They even drop sort of like false hints of dread. Dread herrings, if you will. Throughout the whole thing, I thought, oh no, the young kid is going to rape the sister.
Yeah.
When he surprises her by the river, it's like, oh God, this isn't it. This isn't going to happen, is it? Throughout the whole thing, just dread, dread, dread. Nutty Nut Nuts. William Friedkin has directed some underrated movies during his long career, one of which is Cruising from 1980. Have you seen it? I have.
I have not seen it. My mother saw it in the theaters when my Uncle Richie came to town. They always like to see movies with the New Yorkers in it because they're from New York. And they see each other and they'll be like, can't be any worse than that Cruising movie, that Al Pacino movie we saw that one time.
There are 2 interviews with William Friedkin on the DVD, the Cruising DVD. And both of those things are more interesting than the movie Cruising. And there are lots of scenes that take place in these leather bars in New York, and you're watching them, and I watched them, and I thought, well, this is going a bit over the top, I think. But those were not actors, and those were not sets. That was cinema verite. They were going to these actual bars and just let the cameras roll. It's sort of an interesting time capsule to just see that in all of its sweaty glory.
Evan Meister writes The Scarlet Empress. Seen it.
Seen it. This is the story of Catherine the Great.
Yes.
It begins in exactly the same spot where the streaming series The Great does. And this movie, like that show, has most of the twisted sex and weird Russian court stuff intact.
Except for the fact that her husband in this movie is not some sexy madman. He's just a madman.
He looked exactly like if Harpo Marx were psychotic. It's terrifying to look at this guy.
Yeah. There's a scene with the horses where they're riding horses upstairs.
Yeah.
That's something you're not allowed to do anymore. That's a lot of actors about to die.
And the production design of that is amazing. Every room is this landscape of sad Russian faces. There's a place that you can go where the only ghosts you'll find are the ghosts of our past episodes, and that's our website, welcometothebasementshow.com. There are all of our episodes there, and there are PayPal donation buttons that you can click on and make a one-time or a rolling monthly donation to support this show. The support of our viewers is something that is always gratifying, and it keeps us going. Two of our donors, one of them is Mason, thank you Mason, and the other one is Saskia from the Netherlands, who says, I've been watching you since the beginning, which after 11 years basically means I grew up watching you. Keep up the great work, much love. Thank you. If you want more Craig and Matt chat, and you want to watch us open some boxes and stuff like that, you can watch the unboxing show, which comes out this coming Friday.
It does.
And now, watch this.
At least it's too dark to see the cockroaches.
Forget about cockroaches. It's the subway rats you gotta worry about.
Some of them are foot long and only $5.
Hello?
Mind the gap.
Somebody get me the Ghostbusters.